Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to the Corcoran Entertainment Show, episode 2. I'm your host, Franky Corcoran. Today, we are going to be joined by two very good friends of mine, Shawn Doucet and Kyle Esty. They are both entertainment junkies, as am I, and as are all of you watching. So today we are going to discuss what comes next for Spider-Man after No Way Home, Tom Holland Spider-Man. And also we're going to be discussing the long awaited these Walking Dead movies. Are they going to happen? When are they going to happen? And really the big question is, are we ever going to see these movies? It's one of those things where it's like, I'll believe it when I see it, but we'll see where these guys stand on it. And so in the meantime, sit back, relax, enjoy the show if you're a visual person watching it this way, or if you are like me and like to listen to podcasts while you're driving around, just keep an eye on the roads, because it's not the it's not the nicest time of year for sure. It's also cold as all hell up here, so if anyone's thinking about moving, just don't move to Canada. I mean, not sure if that'd be any better, but anyways, yeah, so I'm just going to shut up and let's just roll the intro. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. So we are back with episode 2 of the Corcoran Entertainment Show, and I am very pleased to introduce to you our two guests today. First up, we have Mr. Kyle Esty. Kyle, how are you today, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, the very best, man. And then also we have Mr. Shawn Doucet, the Big Deuce, as they call him, the
Deuce, the
legend.
one and only, my guy.
The one and only, the big this is it. So these two guys here, we've been friends for how long now? Shawn, you and I go back to what, we're like 4 years old, something like that.
Yep.
4 years old. And Kyle, we go back to, I think, about middle school, high school, somewhere in that
High school. Yeah,
somewhere in that
around
range.
there.
So we've been through lots together. We have been through lots together. Like particularly, we used to have Walking Dead sleepover parties kind of thing. So Kyle, you say that was actually the first time Kyle, I think the first and only time Kyle attended that was for the premiere of Fear the Walking Dead, and you say that was the first Fear the Walking Dead episode you ever watched?
That was the first and only
That was the first and only
episode I have ever watched. Yeah.
Oh, well, there, at least it's better than nothing. But
Yeah.
so where we are at now, we are currently in phase 3 of the COVID shutdowns. So now is just a matter of just finding ways to occupy your time. So what have you boys been doing ever since shit hit the fan? Shawn, we'll start with you.
I've been watching the new series on Crave, Peacemaker. It's like based off of John Cena's character in the Suicide Squad movie. And I think it's pretty cool. It's a really good show. It doesn't pull any punches. I think it's rated R. And
can you see John Cena? Tell me that. Can you see him at all during this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That
was
for an interview for Peacemaker. He actually addressed the joke, and he said it was his brother. He bet his brother told him, "I bet you won't go like this on stage," just like a random joke, and he did it, and then it just became iconic.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. But I always question John Cena's like acting. I never thought he was like the best actor. Did you guys see Daddy's Home? Did you guys see Daddy's Home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was the best in that personally. That's just my opinion. But Kyle, where do you stand on John Cena's acting? Like, do you find he's a good actor, or?
He was a good wrestler. I enjoyed watching WWE back in the day, but I don't know, like he's kind of like The Rock. Like The Rock's not a great actor. But like, are they entertaining? Yeah. Like I enjoy watching the movies they're in. It's just like they're not the most compelling actors. They're there to do action movies, and I feel like that's what they're made for. But yeah, I don't find they're the best actors. They're just entertaining.
No, absolutely. So Shawn, how is he in Peacemaker? Like, is it any like Emmy worthy?
The critics and I agree with the critics. They're saying he was like built for this role. Like he was born to play it, just like Deadpool is with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
Don't you mean Green Lantern for Ryan Reynolds?
No,
Kyle, I'm gonna kick you from this call right now. Oh man. Well, hey, well, I mean, like, think about all the comebacks people make. Like Chris Evans. Remember back when he was what was he in Fantastic Four? I can't remember now.
Johnny Flame.
Johnny Flame. Yeah, that's how bad it was. I don't even remember who he played in it. And now here he is as a Captain America. Like that's something for sure. Kyle, what have you been watching lately during the shutdowns? Have you been watching anything or?
No, I haven't really been watching much. It's mainly playing Fortnite is what I've been doing the most. So that's what I've been doing.
I see Sean's got a big smile on his face.
And Shawn showed me how to get the Spider-Man gloves. So that's automatically first thing I do is go get the Spider-Man gloves. And then I become a different person when I got them gloves on.
Oh man. So Shawn, speaking of Fortnite, Shawn has put how many hours into Fortnite? Like you're like a god.
Probably hundreds.
Hundreds. Holy God, man. I couldn't even. Well, it's funny because we love to play games together, you and I. But then there's certain games where we have like I'll think the world of them and you won't, or you think the world of a game and I don't think the world of them. Tell me, what is your opinion on Titanfall 2? What is your opinion on that game?
Kyle, have you ever heard this story?
No, I never.
Okay, so I used to go over to Franky's to we'd just hang out and play Xbox, and
steal my Wi-Fi.
You know what Titanfall 2 is?
No.
Titanfall 2 is basically it's basically like Call of Duty, but you go around a giant robot. Like you can get in and out of one. And
okay.
You can I like the story. I don't mind that. But I was over playing multiplayer at Franky's house against other people. And I kept playing and I kept dying and losing and I played for about an hour. And I just got mad. And I got up and I left Franky's house and I went home. I just raged for it.
I remember that. It was after exams.
Franky has not forgotten that since. He's
well, no, I'll never forget because there's some games I love that no one will plays or knows about or anything, and I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Shawn's getting into Titanfall, and he hit it so bad he left my goddamn house.
And you know what, Kyle? That you know how shit of a game it is. It's so shit that I went to the Dollarama in Douglastown. And it was $1. It was $1 on sale on the shelf, brand new. And then you know what I tried to do? I tried to sell it to a place in Moncton, and they wouldn't even take it. It's worth nothing to them.
Well, what's this whole fiasco going on where Titanfall 2 is corrupting people's games or something like that? What's that whole fiasco going on? I can't even remember.
I don't know. I've never even heard of it until
there was some sort of thing I heard. It was people they were encouraging them to uninstall Titanfall 2, or there was some sort of technical something going on. I can't remember. I have to look up more of it. It just popped into my head. I almost forgot about it.
Franky, back to Fortnite. I think you should get into it. I think you'd really I used to hate on it until I got into it. Then I regretted not playing it earlier.
That's well, I mean, I don't know. It's not that I don't like it. It's just it's one of those games where I don't see the hype around it. But I mean, maybe that's just me.
It's not hype. It's more just how it's fun to play and it's fun to win when you win because it's difficult to win.
No, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to trash on it. I mean, of course I joke around. Oh, it's a shitty game, this and that. No, it's actually pretty good. It's just there was something about it that I'm like, it's just not interested, not interesting to me. But Kyle, how many hours have you put into Fortnite compared to Shawn?
Oh, nothing close. I'll play a game or two, maybe every other day. And if I don't do good in the game, then I just quit. But if I get to the final 10 or final 5, then I'll play another one and try to win. But if I don't make it to the final 10, like that's it for me. Or like I remember the other day I was playing and I was going like I just started and I went straight for the Spider-Man gloves and someone was there first and then they got me and then I was like, nope, today's not my day, so I just quit.
Did you end up leaving your house for that?
No, I didn't leave the house. I just found something else.
Kyle moves out of his house.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, it's crazy. And so do you guys remember PUBG? Please tell me that you guys remember PUBG.
Oh yeah, I was like
Yeah.
that was the number one game I played before I started playing Fortnite.
I think part of me, I think that's honestly kind of why I can't get into Fortnite.
But after playing Fortnite for a long time, man, I can't even play PUBG now. Like I physically like can't.
It just
Like,
yeah.
the
Well, I
controls,
mean,
I just
especially
find-
nowadays, the game's like broken. You know what I mean? Like I tried downloading it a while back, and it was just glitchy. It was buggy, and you know. But and it's a shame. It's a real damn shame. Like especially like you know a game like Red Dead Online, something that was once so beloved. Kyle, did you play Red Dead Online yet? I can't remember if you did or not.
I played it a couple times, but I never really got into the online. It's the same as the story. Like I never actually did complete the story of Red Dead. I played most of the story, and then I forget where's the island you get sent to.
Oh, Guarma.
Guarma, yeah. As soon as that happened, it literally made me not like the game anymore. Like I was like, why? Why did they have to add this to the story? And I just stopped playing at that point. I just couldn't do it. Like I got back from Guam or whatever it's called, and I literally just did whatever, like went on my horse and went into town, did whatever. Like I did not want to complete the story after that. It was a great story, great game. That ruined the entire like wanting to finish the game for me, which is weird. I don't know why, but because I love Red Dead 1. That was like my favorite game ever.
One of the greatest, yeah.
And I remember when Red Dead 2 came out, you played as Arthur. And when I first got Red Dead 2, I was like, this is awful. Like I like John so much more. Why would they do this? And then I started playing it more and I was like, no, Arthur is way better than John.
Way better.
John, like Arthur's like he's the best. But no, I still just I don't know. I just couldn't finish the story and I tried online a couple times, but I think I got into it too late because it was kind of like buggy and stuff, and like people were just like flying in anywhere in the online, like just they'd be flying out of the sky. So I think I got in a modded game or something. I don't know, but it was crazy.
It probably did.
It's like when I logged on to GTA on the PS3 one time just to see what it was like. And I'm standing there, and then this UFO comes flying and hits me, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" Like, it's so modded, you can't even play it anymore.
No, it's so bad. Shawn, where do you stand on the whole save Red Dead Online hashtag that's been trending on Twitter?
I agree that they should get more. They should add or start adding more content to Red Dead 2 Online, because I think they're just letting it die. And then just keeping GTA going and pumping content into that because they want people to buy shark cards. That's it.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Like the appeal is because I mean, like Red Dead Online, they can do so much with it. Like they can still make money.
It doesn't make them as much money because everything now is microtransactions. Like say Fortnite is all microtransactions. Skins buying with V-Bucks. Same with Red Dead. Buying gold is like. Gold is what you need to buy. Like you to buy clothes in Red Dead, which is not realistic. I don't find at all. And people don't buy as much gold in Red Dead. And I think people buy more shark cards in GTA because they want to buy cars and apartments and all that stuff that make the game fun.
Well, I mean, I am guilty of buying quite a bit of gold personally. I mean, there's, just the lengths we go to enjoy the game that we all love.
It's hard to find a good game now because of all the microtransactions. It really affects the gaming industry as a whole now.
No, absolutely. Well, especially in times like these where we're all doing our best to find something so enjoyable, something that can take our mind off of the craziness that's going on in the world right now. And then even the stuff that we enjoy is just going downhill too. So it just makes you question like why
Well,
like, why do I even bother?
It's like you're playing a game and you're really enjoying it. Then it's like, oh, purchase this pack for $59.99 to get a cool colored gun or whatever, and it just sucks.
No, it's terrible. So that also reminds me of a story. Shawn, do you remember that time when you and I were in EB Games for how long were we in EB Games for? For those of you watching who don't know, EB Games is, well, actually, yeah, you guys probably should know what EB Games is. I don't think it's that small of a.
No, I think people the game
everyone knows. Gaming store. Yeah. You're more than welcome to tell it. I was gonna let you tell that.
Okay, I will. So Kyle, for you, there was one day that I wanted 2 games and I only had enough money for one. And me and Franky were just hanging out. And I was like, Franky, which one do I want? And Franky gave his opinion and he said, oh, you should get this one, or and he gave me like solid facts. I don't even remember what game it was. There was 2 different games. And we ended up staying in EB Games for 2 hours because I was trying to decide what game I wanted.
And in the end, he didn't even end up buying one of them.
Yeah, I didn't even buy anything in the end. We just left.
Didn't buy a single one. Like it was just
Oh
my god. So yeah, like I mean, like we're crazy boys. Like there's no other way to put it. Shawn and I, well, I mean, like, since this is entertainment company, Shawn and I remember we had actually we worked on a movie when we were in the 7th grade. Which is there any plans to bring that back through Corcoran Entertainment, or
no, we'll leave that dead where it is.
Is that dead? There's nothing more.
I don't even want to talk about it.
No, you want to talk about it? Yeah.
Next topic.
Next topic. Yeah, no. So that'll be a story for another time. Basically, we aspired to be creators long ago. Like this. Yeah, this isn't really. Sorry, that popped into my head. I really wanted to delve into that. So yeah, so is there anything else that you guys are doing, like, just to occupy your time now? I mean, like, of course, this whole thing's kind of been rough on all of us. This whole COVID, these new shutdowns and stuff like that. So what other entertainment are you guys watching or
I don't
to
know.
occupy your time?
I live kind of a boring life. I just kind of game. That's it. Game or watch like Netflix, or I don't know.
Quiet life.
Actually, if you really want to know, I can pull up my
the book
subscriptions. So, Prime Video. I've been watching Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Oh, that's all I hear nowadays.
It's a really good show. I've been finishing up Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, yes. Which Kyle hasn't seen.
My favorite show.
And I won a free subscription to Paramount Plus. So I activated that. There's nothing on it though, except for the new South Park movies post COVID.
Oh my god, yes, that's right. I still have to see that too. I have to get Paramount Plus. I feel like such a
it's not worth the money that you're paying for it. If you were in the States, it would be, but here it's not because Canada limits a lot of the content.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like altogether, I'd say there's like less than 60 movies and TV shows all combined on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, there's not much on it, eh?
No.
So it's funny that Shawn brings up Fear the Walking Dead, because that is actually our first main topic today, which is, are the Walking Dead movies going to happen? So just a little bit of background, spoiler warning, of course, for anyone who has not seen The Walking Dead up to date, which is funny because I remember I wanted to talk about this, but I'm like, nobody I know still watches or like knows what's going on except you two. So I'm like, this is perfect. You know what I mean? Like, because at one time this was like the biggest show in the world, and now it's declined. And so basically, for those of you who need a refresher, basically or if you haven't seen it but just don't care and you just want to know what we're talking about. So Andrew Lincoln, of course, who played Rick Grimes, or plays, I guess, because he's not actually off the series yet. He left the main show in season 9 because Andrew Lincoln wanted to go back to the UK and spend more time with his family. And so they wrote him out of the show, had him taken away in a helicopter. And now that was, let me see, I marked that down. That was November 2018 when that happened. And they announced like immediately after on Talking Dead that he was going to be returning for Walking Dead movies, 3 Walking Dead movies, and that they would be coming out like fairly soon. And here we are, and it's January 2022. And the latest update we have is that we're working on it. That's all they say. We're working on it. So, I mean, so Shawn, we'll start with you. Are these movies a good idea, or do you think they should just bring Rick back to the show?
Not now. I think it's too late. They waited way too long to start like production and actually get it going. Because I think by even now, this point at the latest, they should have like been like, oh, here's the release date, and it's this year at some point. Because we've been waiting over 2 years for it.
No, so, absolutely.
I think the hype is just. I'm not even. At first, I was hyped about it, but now I'm not. It's whatever.
No, and even Kyle says too. Like Kyle always messages me after he watches every Walking Dead episode, and one of the things he says most often is, "Man, they should just bring Rick back for the show. We should just bring Rick back."
I think the last the season after Carl died, and then Rick left the show. It just kind of ruined it. It kind of threw everything off. And I think they kind of just had to make it up as they went.
No, absolutely. But like Kyle, where do you stand? Do you still think they should do the movies, or do you want your prayers to be answered that Rick would just come back to the show?
Franky, I think I told you this before, but the way I want it to end is this last part of the season. Well, we're at the middle part now, but the last part that's going to come out in the fall, Rick comes back. And he sees how close Negan is with Judith, and Rick ends them finally, and he ends the war that started 5-6 years ago almost, and Rick gets his redemption, and that would close it, lock it in a box for me. I love Negan; he's my second favorite on the show, but I think that's the way it needs to go.
Which is interesting.
Or Negan and Rick team up and just take out everybody else.
Including Judith, his own dog?
maybe not. I don't know.
I think that a show is popular when you have people trying to sneak into the sets and record footage that's being filmed, or like trying to get like promo images. Like they're like you used to always see these pages like The Walking Dead leaked, or spoil the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
and like that was and most shows that are popular now have that, like leak set photos, or leak this, or leak
Stranger
that. Like
Things,
Flash,
I think, has that.
Like The Flash this season, it's not as popular, but it still has like leaked images and leaked stuff from the show.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, especially hell, the show's been going on for 11 seasons now. You know what I mean? And so I think
nobody cares enough about the show. Like, I care enough about it that I'll sit and watch it every once in a while to kind of get myself caught up, or I'll read a synopsis of what happened in the last 6 episodes. But it's just not enough interest to have me sit down and watch it.
Or like if you just happen to be flipping channels, oh, The Walking Dead's on, and
I have to say that is only my opinion for The Walking Dead. Fear of the Walking Dead is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think Fear is definitely it's had its ups and downs. Kyle knows exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Fear has its ups and downs. I mean, like, it definitely has over the years. I mean, like, of course, first 3 seasons were amazing. Season 3, I think, even rivals some of the best Walking Dead stuff. And then season 4 and 5 just took a dip. Season 6 was amazing. Season 7 so far has been hit or miss. There's some episodes that are good, some that aren't so good. So we'll see how the second half.
I actually think I started watching when there was like 4 or 5 seasons out, or no, it was 5 seasons that were out, and season 6 was just premiering. And I started to binge it, and it took me like, I found season 1 was a little hard to get through. I think because it was just like the start of the apocalypse, and like they were just like everything was collapsing. I liked it, but I just kind of, season 1 and 2 were just me trying to get over that. Like it just skip through it, like because I wanted to know the story. But you obviously can't skip right to season 3.
No, exactly.
I think season 3 on it keeps getting better, and I think season 6 was really good. But I think season 7 is starting to take a little dip.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, you know, like I mean, like, you know, as I said previously, like, you know, season 4 and 5 were terrible, and then season 6 was amazing, even rivaled some of the best Walking Dead stuff, in my opinion, anyway. And then season 7 started to take a little bit of a, you know, a lot of ups and downs throughout season 7. But I do think there's definitely room for some improvement there. But I think one of the big problems they're doing is that they're expanding way too much. So they got 2 spinoffs. No, geez, sorry, 3 spinoffs. One just ended with World Beyond, and now they're doing a Daryl Carroll spinoff, and then they're doing the Tales of the Walking Dead. They're doing the Rick movies. Maybe they might be doing the Rick movies. Like it's pretty. It gets. It kind of feels like they're just milk, you know, like just trying to milk the cow for.
I think they should have really focused on. This is kind of biased because I like this show better, but the Invincible animated series.
Oh yes, I knew you.
I don't know if it's the same company, but I know it's a lot of the voice actors in The Walking Dead. And
Stephen Young.
It's been about a year since it came out, and the studio was just like, "Hey, we're starting to work on it now." People were expecting the next season to be out by like March or April, so now we're gonna have to wait probably till, I'd say, next year or close to the end of this year.
Not as long as we'll have to wait for the Rick movies, because who knows what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But, I think that The Walking Dead defeated its own self, honestly, because like you remember, like there was so much hype, like Shawn was saying, over the show. Like there was leaks, like who did Negan kill, everything like that. Remember, like everyone was wondering who Negan killed with the bat.
People were losing their minds.
Yeah, we had to wait 6 months.
And there were lawsuits going at those people too. Like, that's how crazy it was.
Yeah. And everyone was so into this show. Like, it was crazy. But then they realized that, and they're like, oh, we can keep this going forever. Like, we're making so much money. Everyone loves it. So then they just draw out these long, boring episodes. Like in season 7, I found there were so many dry episodes where you get one good scene in the whole episode, and then it's all just like talking and like too much dramatic moments of just like that, like whoever just arguing and stuff like that. Like they're just drawing it out, and then
a lot of Negan leaning back, like, you know, like there's all kinds of that.
Yeah, but like, and then like a lot of people that I know quit in season 7. So they missed out, because season 8 is actually my favorite season of the whole show. Ooh. Because it's all just action the whole time. But when you start losing that many fans because you're having too many dry episodes and not enough, you know, excitement, and they're losing, like, you know, the zombies, which really made the show. Like, that's what the whole show is supposed to be about. And they really kind of stopped using zombies as like a fear thing and stuff like that. Then you lost most of the fan base. And like season 9, they've been trying to bring zombies back, which is awesome, like using like the hordes and stuff like that. But you already lost the fan base. Like, I think I think they put themselves in their own grave with what they were doing, like dragging the episodes out, not having, you know, as many zombies being the focus of the show anymore and stuff like that. That's just my opinion, but I think that's really what happened to The Walking Dead.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Franky,
that very well said, man.
You know more than me, but didn't they change producers like a ton?
Yeah. First, I think it was the first 2.5 seasons, or first 2 full seasons. I can't remember exactly. Frank Darabont, who directed the Shawshank Redemption, was the showrunner. He had basically had the idea to turn The Walking Dead into a TV series. there was some creative differences or whatever, so he got fired. I think like either midway through season 2 or at the end of season 2, something like that. I can't remember exactly. And then they had another guy, I can't remember his name now, who was on to the end of season 3. And then after season 3, that was when Gimple took over, Scott Gimple. And here's the thing: people give him a lot of crap, but he's responsible for some of the best Walking Dead episodes. Like Clear, like the episode where Rick goes and finds Morgan again. I think he wrote and directed that episode, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but
that was prime Walking Dead.
Like that was like, you know what I mean? So people can hate on him all they want. Oh, he killed Glenn, he killed Carl, he did this, he did that. But you can't deny that he's done some of the best stuff in The Walking Dead. And who knows? He's heavily involved with the Rick movies. So we'll see. Hopefully maybe something good comes of that. But I had an idea. I don't know how you would feel about it, but if you guys know that after the Walking Dead comic book series ended, they had this one-off Negan special called Negan Lives. I would love to see them do a spin-off movie of that. I know how you feel about Negan, but how would you feel if they did a spin-off of Negan instead of like if they just brought Rick back in season 11, canceled his movies, and then afterwards have Negan take off and he gets his own movie? Like, what would you think of that? Marketing wise, business wise, is it smart? Or
I think it's probably smarter to do a Negan movie. People, I know like a lot of people love Negan, and I feel like marketing wise, that would be the smartest thing they could do, would be to make a Negan movie over a Rick movie, because people lost interest in Rick. It's been 4 years since we've seen him. So now people are invested in, the ones that do still watch it are invested in Negan. Like, he's the best guy on the show right now.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but in the actual show, Frankie, hasn't it been like a decade since that happened?
Well, they
skipped pretty close.
They skipped 6 years, and then
there was another 2-year time skip,
and then like another year or so, because then it was winter hit, and then so yeah, I'd say so in total he's been gone for about 7.5 years,
so almost a decade.
Maybe. So I mean,
like how they're gonna I think they're having a hard time writing, like to figure out how they're gonna explain. Oh, he's been gone for 7 years. It's like you just kind of like,
well, especially because Rick's the kind of guy where family is everything to him. So why would he not come back to his family? Maybe
they'd put it so he was in a coma again for like 6.5 years. I don't know.
I did think that too. Like, is he in a coma again, or is he? My opinion is I think he's being held there against his will, and maybe it's a kind of thing where if you go back to your family, we'll hunt you down and kill you and kill your whole family. So he's kind of like, okay, maybe it's best to just stay away from them. But so who knows? They might, maybe that's what's taking them so long. But I'll go around to each of you. So if you had, on a scale of 1 to 10, Kyle, we'll start with you. Do you think the movies are going to happen on a scale from 1 to 10? Where do you fall on that?
I'd say probably a 2. I don't think they're going to happen. I honestly don't. It's been too long. There's nothing progressing with it. I can't see them happening. And I think they'll probably realize, people don't care about it. Like, I'd love to see it. Like, Rick was my favorite character, still is, even though I do love Negan now. Like, and
took
Franky,
you a few
years. You're the reason, because I kept saying I think I'm gonna quit because I hate Negan and I can't see myself liking him. But I do like him now, but yeah, I just think people aren't going to be invested in it. And like, do you think it'll come out on AMC, or will it, like, are they going to send it to movie theaters?
I think they were talking about movie theaters. Universal Pictures, I think, had picked it up, I believe.
Well, see, I can't see that doing any good. I feel like that would be a flop, send it to movie theaters, honestly. Like, if AMC did it, it might be okay, but for them to send it to a movie theater after fans, too many people quit on the show, I don't think it'll make the money that they might expect. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
unless they release like a trailer that like blows everybody's socks off and like revives the hype, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Who knows? We might be eating our words. here in like.
No, who knows? So Shawn, where do you stand on a scale from 1 to 10? Are these gonna happen or?
I stand at like a 2 or 3, like Kyle said. I don't know. Like I said, the hype is for me anyway. The hype is gone. Like when they first announced it, I was like, "Oh my god, we're getting like a Rick movie in like a year or so." Like super hyped, and they just kind of. I know COVID happened, but a lot of other studios made do with how it was. So I don't know what the deal is.
Well, personally, I'm not sure if they can use COVID as an excuse now. Well, I mean, of course they could, but Andrew Lincoln says he can't leave his country due to COVID protocols over that. But I think right now he's filming some other movie in Canada. So if he could leave the UK to go to Canada, then why is he not? And then again, I'm not saying he. I mean, like the man has put 10 years into The Walking Dead. He can do like whatever he wants. But they can't really use that as an excuse now to say, oh, because COVID, this and that, if he's filming a movie in Canada. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to be the black sheep on this. I'm going to go with an 8.5. 8.5. I'm going to say 8.5.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, I will. I mean, I still got hope. I do have hope for it. But it's also starting to be one of those I'll believe it when I see it kind of things. Like they could say all they want. We'll start filming this time. We'll start filming then. Until I see a picture of him on set with all the producers and stuff like that, then I'll go okay to a 10.
Like they haven't even released a teaser or anything.
Well, no, there is a teaser actually. There was one they released at Comic-Con like 3 years ago with the helicopter, and it says like Rick. So yeah, I got it's been a while.
That was like the initial announcement. They gotta release like a clip or something of like Rick like doing a jig or killing somebody or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like until I see like Andrew Lincoln on set with not the Python because Judith has that now. Like just something, him next to a zombie, him with the Rick beard and stuff like that. Until I see it, then I'll go to a 10. But right now, I just think they've invested, the fans would be crushed if it didn't happen. I know I won't be crushed. I'd be more like, well.
I think it'd just be the final nail in the coffin.
If they ended up canceling it, I think then, like for me personally, I'd be fine if they canceled it and just brought him back in season 11 because it's only
kind of like the thing where like Rockstar is giving GTA all its stuff. They're putting all their good writing into Fear or The World Beyond. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. The World Beyond's not good at all. I don't like it at all.
I didn't even bother watching it personally. I saw, well, first of all, I didn't even have an interest in it, to tell you the truth. Like just, I heard what it was about and I was kind of like, it just doesn't click for me. And then I saw the reviews. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't waste my time watching that. But, so Kyle, you were at a 2. Shawn, are you at 2 or 3? Because you said either or.
2.5.
2.5. Okay, so 2, 2.5, and 8.5. So the question is, I think we'll put a poll up on Spotify. What do you guys think? Are we going to see the Rick movies? Yes or no? Just feel free to leave your thoughts or on Instagram or Facebook, wherever, and let us know your thoughts. So with that down and out of the way, we'll move on to our second and final main topic, which is where does Tom Holland Spider-Man go from here, or where does Tom Holland go after No Way Home?
Are we going to talk about No Way Home?
We will. So Kyle knows what. So just
I know this movie better than anybody. I've seen it 10 times.
I just found out before we started shooting that Kyle didn't see it. I'm like, holy shit, are you serious?
Me and Shawn had plans to go see it on Tuesday or Monday, but
the government said F you.
Down.
The government.
They knew.
Yeah, because
I was going to see No Way Home.
I was going to go see it a second time with Kyle. And you know what? Maybe if the movie theaters are open, we'll go. But I don't
think they are anyway. No, all the entertainment centers here are closed. But oh shit, that's a lot of like. So Kyle tells me right before the show starts. By the way, I haven't seen No Way Home. So I'm like, oh shit. But he's like, it's okay. I know what happened.
He knows what happened. So
Toby and Andrew were in it. Yeah, everything. So
yeah.
So
you should have put a spoiler alert for the fans.
No, I did. I do.
Oh, okay.
The first episode we talked about it too. So.
Oh, okay.
Unless people, I'll probably just put a little disclaimer on it. But so we'll split this up into two categories. So First we'll talk about where does the actual character Spider-Man go from here, and then we'll talk about is Tom Holland actually going to come back for it. So right now we'll start with Shawn. We'll start with you. Where do you see Spider-Man, the character, going after No Way Home? Like after now that nobody knows who he is, who Peter Parker is.
If they're following the comics, I mean, technically in the comics, we're at this point. He's done high school. Like he wants to get into MIT or some sort of university or college. He just goes. He ends up going. So I think how it's gonna work in the end of No Way Home, we've seen that he had a GED book. He's gonna get his GED. I don't know how they're gonna work. I think it's that he's just gonna he's gonna go get an ID that says, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker," and he's gonna get his GED. Then he's gonna go to apply in MIT, and then plot armor is gonna happen, and he's going to get into MIT, or he might not. They might decide to go a different route, but I think they will. I think that Ned. I don't think Ned is going to come back. I think they kind of ended that, like this movie. And MJ, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like if they're going to make another 3 movies, it's going to be with Black Cat or Gwen Stacy as the love interest.
No, it's interesting. Kyle, where do you stand?
Yeah, I agree with Shawn.
Because Kyle knows No Way Home better than any.
Yeah, I know it better than anybody. I didn't even know that he had a GED book in his hand. So that's new to me.
I'm just picturing the comments. Why is he on here? Why is he on here? He was planning on seeing it before our government became a bunch of dicks. Oh, but yeah. Well, that's interesting that you say we don't think we'll see Ned again, but
I follow a lot of pages that kind of try to keep track of it, and the rumor around is that he's not renewing his contract.
What's his name? I
can't think of the actual actor's name, but I heard that he's not renewing it. I kind of doubt it because there's so much setup, but technically this would be the end of their contract.
Well, then again, I mean, like the end of a contract doesn't necessarily mean that that's it for them. Because
they can make a key. Like maybe he won't be in the next 2 movies, but he might be in the 3rd one as like the Hobgoblin.
No, yeah, exactly. But I mean, like Robert Downey Jr. is a perfect example of that, because I remember his contract expired. I think it was after Iron Man 3, and there was this big controversy going around. Oh, is he going to re-sign? Is he not? And then next thing you know, after Iron Man 3 came out, he signed on to do Avengers 2 and then onward. So just because, I mean, like, not saying that the same will happen with these guys, but that's just one thing to keep in mind, that just because their contract expires, it doesn't mean they can't just sign on for another one. Yeah.
Are we also going to talk about the possibility of? Actually, no. I'll wait till we're done actually talking about the subject.
We'll wait till Kyle sees No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be waiting a little while.
So yeah, the whole Ned as Hobgoblin, that's where I think they're going with it. I think that's where Peter's going to reunite with them, and that's where he's going to force himself to say, look, this is who I am. I just have an inkling. I could be wrong about it, because I mean, if you asked me 3 years ago, do you think Tobey Maguire is going to come back? I would have said you were out of your goddamn mind. But here we are.
Yeah, I just don't know, because it kind of felt like a symbolic ending when he's in that coffee shop and he sees both of them, and she's like, "Hey, would you like a coffee?" And then he's like, he has this whole note prepared, like, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker. I'm your friend. Your memory was erased." And then he just leaves the coffee shop and starts crying. Like he
just sees they're happy, like it was beautiful.
But the one thing I did see, which gives me, it's like a 1%, not even a 1% chance of hope, is MJ had the necklace on that Peter gave her in the second movie, the broke or whatever. She had that necklace on in the coffee shop.
Ooh.
So she might not remember, but she's wearing it for a reason, right?
For a reason. Interesting. I mean, like, in a world where Green Goblin and all them can come back from the original trilogy, anything's possible. You know what I mean? But so where do you stand on the whole Tom Holland thing? Because I know over and over again he says I remember he made a statement a while back saying something about if I'm playing Spider-Man when I'm 30, I'm doing something wrong. And he's what? How old is he now? Like 25, 26, something like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, do you guys think he's got one more in him? Do you think he's got many more in him, or do you think
What I think they're gonna do, my opinion, is they're gonna wait a few years. I think right now Sony and Marvel, Sony and Disney, they had their whole breakup deal, and that they were gonna break up, and then there's not gonna be no more movies and this and that. I think they realized after repairing their relationship, and then what did they put out? One more movie or two more movies after their alleged breakup?
That was No Way Home. They were working on No Way Home, and then that happened.
I think after seeing the success of that movie and then seeing the bigger success of this movie, I think they realized, hey, we got to get our shit together and keep this franchise going. I think what they're gonna do, since they introduced Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man again, they also have Sony's half of the deal, which is Venom, Carnage, Morbius, which is coming out. It got delayed again, and I can't remember the other ones. Carnage, Venom. Oh, wow. Anyway, it's that whole side of it. I think they're gonna have Andrew Garfield, his Spider-Man, in that universe, and they're gonna make at least one more Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie for Sony exclusively.
Oh yeah,
and then it's gonna be like two separate Spider-Man. I feel like if they did Andrew's, it'll be a lot darker, whereas then the Disney's Tom Holland could be kind of Disney-esque. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, even Andrew Spider-Man said in No Way Home when he first met Tom Holland's Spider-Man, he said when he lost Gwen, he became like reckless. He became like, he was full of rage and everything. I'd love to see that. I would love to see how he coped with Gwen's death and.
Oh yeah,
just a different.
We fought a rhino.
Oh right! Oh my God! Please don't bring. Oh God! That I hated that part in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
We need that.
Oh, little Spider-Man! Oh, like oh my God! I hated that part so much. Remember, you guys said that I looked like that kid at the end of Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. You guys always said that you're like, Frank, you're going out and you're gonna save, the town from that rhino. I'm just like, shut up. I can't remember how old we were when that came out, but I'll tell you one thing I want to see. I want to see Willem Dafoe again after No Way Home.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
He was, I think, because for me going into it, I was like, okay, Toby and Andrew are going to steal this movie. And then once Toby and Andrew came on, I was like, okay, that's cool. Now where's Willem Dafoe? I want to see more Willem Dafoe. I'd be fine with just a Green Goblin standalone. Honestly, I would be so fine with that too. Like, yeah, I mean, like, there's lots of possibilities. I mean, if Willem Dafoe was willing to come back, if Alfred Molina was willing to come back, Tom Holland could come back, and Zendaya can come back. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's kind of hard to say at this point. But we'll also do another thing here. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Kyle, we'll start with you. Do you think that Tom Holland will do another trilogy? Or do you think he'll just stick with just one more and call it a day? Or what do you think is going to happen?
I think he'll do one more, and that'll be it. Do I think he'll do another trilogy? No, probably not, because he's still youthful. Like, he's definitely the youngest looking Spider-Man out of all three, and he still acts like a kid, or still youthful anyway. But like, it takes 2 or 3 years to make a movie. And like he said, he doesn't want to do it when he's 30. I think he'll just do one more, he's probably.
30. I'm actually curious now. I want to look up and see how old Tom Holland is. Because it's Tom Holland is 25. So
25.
5 more years to do a trilogy. You better go quick.
Yeah. Don't think so.
So where do you stand on that again, Kyle? What number?
I'd say like 4.
A 4? Okay. Shawn, how about you?
At a 10?
10, yeah.
I think I'd have to say a 7.
7? Oh, okay.
Because I don't know. What I really don't want is I really don't want them to go like 2 or 3 years without a movie and then be like, hey, we're rebooting the franchise again. I think it'll make a lot of people mad. I think it was fine for like the transition from Toby to Andrew and then the transition from Andrew to Tom Holland. But I think that Tom Holland has to be the last Spider-Man for a while.
Like wait a while before
unless they decide to do like Miles Morales Spider-Man, then that's fine. They can do his character as his own thing because he has his own rogues gallery. So
yeah, like into the Spider-Verse, some of that. Yeah, because I think they're pretty set on keeping that its own separate thing. Like they don't plan on crossing that over with the MCU in any way. Like there was even some people speculating that it was going to be Toby, Andrew, Tom, and then Miles Morales was going to show up. I'm like, no, I think they're pretty content on keeping that its own entity. But I mean, it's kind of hard to say. But I'm gonna say I think we could see another trilogy. I think we could. I'm gonna go with an 8. I'll go with an 8 again. It's funny, you guys are going low and I'm going high. Well, Shawn was kind of both because Shawn went like 3 and then he went to 7. But yeah, I'm gonna go with 8. I think we'll see another trilogy. And then after that, maybe that's it for him. It's kind of hard to say. But yeah, I think the future's bright for Spider-Man. I do think it is. Kyle, we will have to see it. Definitely. Yeah.
I think it's a really successful franchise. They just get caught up in too much like contract and production time BS.
No, absolutely. I mean, there's always stuff behind the scenes. And I mean, like, going back to the other topic about the Rick Grimes movies, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe there's lots of, production issues but like no matter where you go, I mean, like, people think, oh, it's all, butterflies and rainbows on movie sets. No.
And no. I'm not naive to say it's not. Like back to the Invincible animated series. I know there's a lot of work and like they got to do voice acting. They got to hire different sound effects people. They got to buy the rights to songs and different things that they're going to use in the show. So like a lot of stuff has to go into that, and there's probably a lot of wait times.
No, exactly. It's not like it's like, hey, let's do this, and then everything's all good. But no, there's if people don't think there's like shouting or conflict or drama on a movie set, then I want to go to whatever planet you're on because that.
I heard. I'm gonna just say it right now for evidence on this podcast. I think the reason Morbius was delayed another couple months is because they're gonna add Andrew Garfield in as Spider-Man.
Ooh.
As a cameo at the very least.
Okay, so here's the deal. So if that happens, sorry, I got so excited I dropped the mic. If that happens, I'm gonna record this and I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna spread this all over social media, saying Shawn Doucet called this first. Because I like that. I do like that a lot.
What's the date today?
Today is January 16th. Yeah.
All right, so that's the date. I'm calling it. Because in the trailer, no one understood in the original trailer because it came out before any of the No Way Home trailers or any of that.
Yeah.
It was it showed a picture of It looked like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit graffitied on the wall, and it said "murderer" on it. Ooh. And it didn't make sense to me then, but after watching No Way Home, somebody made a good point that this is the reason I think it's going to be its own franchise with Andrew Garfield or maybe Tobey Maguire, but I think Andrew Garfield because Andrew was like, yeah, after I lost Gwen, I just stopped pulling my punches and I think maybe he killed a villain or two, and then he got branded a murderer.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see that.
Morbius and Venom, it has been confirmed in the movies, they're in a different universe. So this different universe Spider-Man could be Andrew Garfield.
No, I do like that a lot. Actually, that actually fits like a glove, and I want to see more Andrew Garfield Spider-Man because I think he's my favorite Spider-Man.
I hope we're not wrong.
No, thinking he is my favorite Spider-Man.
And there's no other movies coming out as big as Morbius in the month of January. I don't think
so anyway. Yeah, as far as I know anyway, because Doctor Strange is pushed to May.
And then in the newest trailer for Morbius, I think it's the newest one, Morbius is like turning into a vampire, and then he's like, we are Venom. or I am Venom. And he's like, oh, just kidding.
Yeah, no,
That was
exactly.
in the trailer. Did you see that? Kyle,
Yeah, I
you
did.
see
Yeah,
that?
I do love that one.
Kyle, do you know
Yeah.
who Morbius is?
No clue.
He's one of Spider-Man's lesser known like rogues. He's a dude that got bit by a bunch of bats. These weird bats in like the middle of a cave, and they turned him into a vampire. Like he had like a terminal disease, and you'll have to watch the trailer. And it turned him
Was
into
he
like
in
this,
the animated series,
I don't
the
know.
90s one?
Oh yeah, definitely probably the 90s one. He has like
Okay,
red eyes. He
I
looks
do
more like a
remember.
vampire in that one.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the trailer, he's holding on to a guy, and he goes, he like shows his fangs. He's like, "We are Venom." He's like, and the guy's like, "What?" And he's like, "Just kidding."
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. So
I think there's too many Spider-Man references to not have Andrew Garfield, because it really, if they're done the movie and they just needed to film one small cameo, they could easily do it. In like 3
absolutely.
months.
Well, especially
'Cause I
someone
think
as
it's
big as Andrew
April.
Garfield.
April now is the release date, so January, February, March, April, 4 months to film one cameo,
No, exactly. So
or
I
maybe
think
more scenes because 4 months is a long time.
no, exactly. So I mean, like, lots of good stuff coming. I mean, like, hopefully we're in for a good year for Marvel movies. Thor and Doctor Strange too. I think it's gonna be good. So thank you guys for
wait,
yeah.
before we're done, I want to call 2 more things.
Here we go. Here we go.
Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. There's 2 rumors, and I hope they're true.
Spoiler alert. Possible spoiler alert.
One is a variant of Iron Man that is Tom Cruise that is going to appear in Multiverse of Madness. And the second one is another version of Spider-Man. I'm calling it right now. I think the Iron Man one's going to happen. It's going to be another version of a variant from another universe of Iron Man. That was a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to call it right now.
Ooh.
Mission Impossible.
because Tom Cruise was in the casting thing. They were going to cast him, but they found Robert Downey Jr. instead.
Wow. And good thing, it was a good move they made because,
I couldn't imagine Tom Cruise as Iron Man.
Oh my God, I couldn't. Like, that's just, I mean, then again, nobody could have imagined Heath Ledger as a Joker, but here we are. Like, one of the greatest performances of all time.
Do you think he was better than Joaquin Phoenix?
That's tricky. Yeah, I'm not ready to decide that because I feel like they're 2 different. Yeah, but that would be a great discussion.
I think we have another podcast, but we have to do this one's Marvel and The Walking Dead. Next one has to be DC and something else.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll definitely make that plan. You guys can hold us to any of these theories. Here's the deal: if they happen, then we all owe Shawn like $100 or something. Like,
I hope it happens. I really hoping.
Shawn just wants that $100 really bad. Yeah. So that'll do it for today, guys. So I'd like to thank both of my guests, Shawn Doucet and Kyle Esty, for coming on. Stay tuned for next week's episode. We will have Kyron Crocker will be on to discuss BoJack Horseman's 2-year anniversary, and also we'll be doing some predictions on Better Call Saul's upcoming 6th and final season. So thank you guys for coming on. Any final words that you guys want to say?
Thank you, Franky. I appreciate
the hospitality. I will definitely be sure to have you guys back on. Kyle, don't forget to see No Way Home so we can have. If there's not another shutdown, then yeah, definitely, promise me that.
Yeah, I will for sure.
All right. So see you next time, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and just stay safe.
You too.